Back at the Chickasha Wheat Field Day with our Southwest Regional Agronomist, Gary Strickland. Gary, you recently had another field day in Tipton, and the wheat, probably looks a little different than it does up here.
That's a very generous way to put that, yes. And as you head further into southwest Oklahoma, we're dealing more with this year's drought conditions down there. In fact, when we looked up data for the Tipton research station, the field day there, which our wheat actually looked really good for what it's been through, but it only showed about 2.7 inches in 180 days. And that would be across probably 15 plus rainfall occurrences. So we haven't had a lot of rain down there, but yes, we did have, talking about the field tour, we did have a field tour down there, had a really nice tour. We talked about varieties like we're doing here at Chickasha today. We also looked at some weed forage hay quality study that we've just started between Mr. Marty New and Ms. Taylor Denman and Aaron Henson and myself down there.
I imagine one of the nice things, though, about those field days is producers can actually see some of the varieties that maybe respond better to drought.
Absolutely, and when you go to these field tours that we have or these field days where we get more a look at the research work that we're actually doing in wheat, and that's one of the benefits when you talk about a field day. We get to bring our clientele or Oklahoma wheat producers in and say, hey, here's the work that we're doing on this wheat crop to try to benefit you, to make your system more, give you more production and more profitable for you at the same time. So these are important on these field days because it gives exposure to what we're doing.
And I always say, like, there's another great thing about these field days, but really another great thing about these field days is the diversity of research.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, we're talking about varieties right now. Dr. Silva's finishing up, visiting with us about varieties today. But you start talking about the fertility research that's going on here with Dr. Brian Arnall, and we're looking at that and the impact of different fertility and nutrient management schemes to help increase our production out there. You start to look at a wheat disease aspect with Dr. Mary Manon and what she's going to start to look at more so in her position in wheat disease management, disease resistance in varieties, fungicide application, what works best out there. Herbicide, work that we're doing with that, herbicides in wheat and weed control. So all of these are tools in a tool belt for a producer that give them a look at the work that at OSU that we're working on to improve their production systems out here. I think another aspect, again, like I said, we're bringing in this wheat forage hay quality study and starting to look at that because a good aspect that we've seen in work that I've done in Southwest, wheat just compares very well so far with barley and triticale and the work that I've done down there. So we're really looking at how do we get that quality in that wheat hay up there pretty good. So if we want to put up wheat hay, we put up good quality hay. And then Marty New and Associated Extension professionals are looking at wheat hay storage processes and how do we store that and preserve that quality. So, again, Curtis, when you start to talk about the diversity of things we're looking at on these wheat field days, that's what we're able to present to our producers and say, we're looking at a large grouping of things to try to improve our systems.
All right, thanks, Gary. Gary Strickland, Southwest Regional Agronomist here at Oklahoma State University.